Anyways. Yeah, no, I'm not finding that. I'm done looking for it. These categories will have to work. Okay, so the way this is gonna work is I'm gonna try my best to both move through this at like a okay speed, but also give reasonings where I can. And then Jool will give their insight and opinions whenever they want to, I guess. We're not gonna force you to do content. Yeah. I'm gonna start off by doing the easy bit, because there is a term that when I saw them in the wiki and Jool was showing me around everything, the Wolfie was the only Tem that I saw and I immediately went, I need this thing. And Jool did point out that of all the Tems I was interested in, this was the one that would show up the latest. So most of this playthrough has been played without my favorite boy and my favorite Temtem, in my opinion, best Temtem. So yeah. Also, yes, Lion. There you are. I would not romance any of the characters in, like, personally, if it was me, like, not playing as a character. Mainly because I have the options of underage people, which no, or people who would, or people who are of age who would date underage people, which is also not okay. So yeah. Wu Ting and me, I would not date any of them. But yeah. Futaba seemed, from what I was like from the playthroughs I've seen, seemed like the most interesting character that I resonated the most with, but I don't want him to be in a relationship with the main character. So, yeah.
So the options are limited and they're all fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, I have, the only tier list I was able to easily find was my Persona 5 tier list. But yeah. Okay, let's get into Temtem ranking. There's going to be a lot of Tems in the bottom 3 categories. Or more like the indifferent and not a fan categories, most likely. Would delete if I could. Only Tems that I actively feel like I would enjoy the game more if they weren't in there, gonna go here. There's not gonna be a lot of Tems here. This is mainly, I am horribly terrified of bugs. And there are certain other things that scare me. So I would actually enjoy the game more if they weren't there. The spiders are gonna go in there. The kind of
I only have
are...
2 Tems that I would put in the bottom tier of would delete if I could.
Yeah.
When they come up, I'll mention them.
So the Echo Fighters, quote unquote. This is because Chromeleon has a form for every type, I think, right? And then
Yep.
both Koish... Koish has a... Does Koish also have for every type?
Yes.
And then Tuvali has for some types. At least Tuvali looks more different, but not different enough, and I don't care enough about
Yeah,
this
but they're all different, like, branches of evolution.
Yeah.
Like EB.
I I'll see how I feel because they're kind of like, they're a little down in the tier list. We'll see how I'm feeling by then. Okay. I'm gonna start off with Mimit. So, Mimit, I actually don't really like this design. I think it's kind of just like a nothing design that also is very bright, like brightness-wise. Like, kind of hurts me to look at them. So I don't really like Mimits.
I think the only thing that upsets me about Mimit is when it transforms into other Tems,
Yeah.
it keeps its own color scheme.
Yeah, which is kind
Instead
of
of
gross to look at.
yeah, I would rather it turn into the Tem fully with like
Yeah.
a filter maybe,
Mm-hmm.
similar to how Lumas have this sort of like
Yeah.
bright outline to them. It's not just the color change.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if it was something like that, but a different color than a Luma Tem.
Yeah. Yeah. This thing's called. I should just have the list open. Or Jules' contribution can just be giving me the fucking names of things.
Which one?
I'm just going down the list as they show up in order. So it's going to be in the
so
number.
it's Ori and Salvian.
Yeah. Ori, I think it's Ike design. I think it's kind of cute. It's a little guy. It's neat. No.
Ori is definitely like the mascot of Temtem, I would say. It's not the first time that I would think of when I'm thinking of Temtem. I would honestly argue, but it's probably more mascotish.
Yeah.
But Ori is the one that's on the promotion list.
Sharbian, though, I don't really care. I am very indifferent to it. It's an okay design, I guess, but nothing about it speaks to me. It just doesn't do anything for me. Nothing special. I'm not.
I like its ability.
Yes.
I like Salvian's ability. It's cool. It's hard to deal with. But it's cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of like protein type thingy, right? Switches types and stuff.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Pre-nerf, pretty much.
So, I don't like the Chromelian design. And I'm gonna put it here. If Chromelian was something that showed up often, because I don't think I've seen even half of these forms, I would have deleted it. But unlike this tier list, Chromelian does not show up enough in-game to overstay its welcome, even though it definitely does in this tier list. I am very tempted to put you here just because you take up so much space in the tier list. But no, you can be allowed to stay in the game. Got any hot Chromelian takes, Jewel?
I mean, talk about.
Yeah, that's more or less my feelings. So, these things, Halsey, and Molgu, they are... I think I like the Halsey design enough to put it in, like, 8. Probably, it's not something I'm big about, but they kind of have I do kind of favor little guy designs. Mulgo, however, I don't really like the design. It's weird and bulky, and kind of just awkward. It doesn't really speak to me in any way. I would say I'll put Cloudpet up here, though it's definitely going to end up a little low in there. But I did like trying them. I believe mine was called Josh. They are very cute. And I do enjoy cute designs a lot. Platox, however, is genuinely one of the least exciting evolutions in the game. It just kind of like changes its eyes a little bit and gets some blue on its head. On it. I don't care. And here's going to be a little bit of a theme. There are a lot of Tems that kind of have that have humanoid designs in ways that I don't like. Specifically, what Platypus has is very, very skinny overarms and then giant, weighty underarms. And I don't like that. It creates kind of like this bulky, kind of balloony design that I don't enjoy that much. It kind of like looks like a reject from like a Disney cartoon in a way, with those kind of proportions. Essentially, if your Tem is built like what the fuck is the guy called? The spinach dude?
Rocco?
No, the cartoon, the sailor who eats spinach.
Oh, Popeye.
Popeye. If your Tem is built like Popeye, I probably don't like it.
I'm pretty okay with the whole like being like a bit regular the if it's done right. I think an example of it looking really weird is Luke in Street Fighter 5 specifically. 6 he looks better, and 5 he looks super weird. I do not like Luke's original design.
Yeah, especially with the spaghetti hair. That shows whack.
Yeah.
Anyways, this line, I'm just
Popeye. Yeah, I like Popeye.
I don't like these guys. They are not really interesting designs to me. They speak nothing to me in terms of like play-wise. And they're kind of buggy, but not buggy enough that they trigger me aggressive.
They're the perfect like early game bug, like Weedle or Caterpie in Pokemon. The thing is, though, is that they keep fucking showing up.
Yeah.
Like you would think that past the halfway point they would stop showing up because it's like
that overstays its welcome for sure.
Yeah. I don't mind their designs, but you know,
yeah,
it's not gonna be my favorite. So
yeah. I am going next up. It's Satoru, and I am going to pull a shocker. I don't love Tataru's design. I kind of vibe with it at first, but the longer I've spent looking at Tataru, the less interesting it's gotten. They're like one of those Tems that they're like the only Tem I kind of got bored of looking at, in a way. So, yeah.
that was me with Pig Epic.
Yeah. Okay.
I love that thing, but like I wanted variety, and it was a simple design.
Yeah, and also Tataru was not interesting in any way mechanically. The only thing that could be cool is like sleep strategies, but you have to get so late into the game, and it was all just about hitting the same move, only the same move, over and over and over again. It got very boring. So yeah.
Speak for yourself. All I do is punch, and everything dies.
Yeah. I mean, you did scream for a while. Garander, not a fan. Just,
I like Gardner.
eh.
I don't have much to say about it, but I do like looking at it.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that not a fan is probably going to be the biggest here.
Probably.
Mosu, I think is pretty aight. It's kind of cute. By the way, I'm not going to stress about ordering things within the tiers because there's so much stuff. I might switch some stuff around at the end. Yeah. Yeah, Mosu I thought was aight. It was kind of cute. It's kind of neat, you know? Not the design I've been the most excited about ever, but I kind of liked seeing it when it showed up. I don't really care either way. If it's on screen, sure. So, birds. I feel kind of a little same of what you talked about with Wally with this line. These guys keep showing up. Not as much as the Wally line, but they're an uninteresting line to me. And it just kind of keeps showing up again and again. I think they're very boring. Final Evolution has like a little more personality, but I also think it's the one that speaks to me aesthetically, so I'll just chuck them all into the I don't care about this tier.
The grandpa line, to me, feels like it's basically like Pidgey.
Yeah.
Where its early game and its final evolution could work in late game, but there are better late game options. Like, it's surprising if you even keep it, to be honest. And it's also, again, because it's an early game Tem, technically.
Yeah.
It just feels very not bland, but basic.
Mm-hmm. Ampling, I don't like it. Ampling looks like, what the fuck is it called? Littlest Pet Shop. It looks like a Littlest Pet Shop figurine with a weirdly disproportionate head that feels like it isn't properly attached to its body, I guess. And it's just, the proportions don't work for me. It genuinely, for me, it feels like the head of this Tem comes from another Tem. Like, that, it feels like the head and the body doesn't match together. And it just strikes me as uncanny in a way I just don't like. But Amphitheater, I am less. I think Amphitheater is an I design. It's a rare circumstance where I prefer the evolved version. I have a soft spot for babies in like Pokemon. Like, I love a lot of the tiny little guys. But Amphitheater is one of the few places where that pattern didn't hold up.
You are you are a Little League champion.
Yeah, my most played metagame on Pokemon Showdown is Little Cup for a reason. Bonbon is aight. I think it's kind of cute. Kind of does cute little guy well. Not something I'm excited about, but pretty neat, I guess. Modred is one of those Temps that kept showing up, and every single time it showed up, I was like, oh shit, this thing's in the game. I found it kind of forgettable. The design feels like it's stretching in too many different directions, literally. It has like the giant ears, it has the sweeping sides, and then it has like the wide stance, stretched out, like legs behind it. It literally feels like it's being pulled in multiple directions physically. And, It's not the worst design, but not something I'm excited about. These guys... I don't really care about the pre-evolution. What were their names? I only remember Taifu. What the fuck is this? Hirori. Hirori? This thing's okay. It's a bug that's not too buggy. And after that is Taifu, which is going to get the first honorable spot of I would actually delete Taifu if I could. Because I don't know why every single time it showed up and I had to look at its design, I got slightly upset. Something like it's like a billion tiny things that just works together to make me not like this guy. They look like an unripe banana version of Resurrection. What's his name? Looking. It's a Bleach character. They probably know. Anyone who's a Bleach fan knows who I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Forgot its name at the moment.
You know, as a major Bleach fan, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyway.
Also, for me, Taifu, I have some sort of conflicting opinions about Taifu because I prefer its original design before they changed it. Yeah. Even though I think that its newer design is, I would say, more interesting.
Yeah.
Which is weird to say because there's like more interesting aspects about it. I just don't like them as much. Yeah,
I think if they had the original design, it would have gone a not a fan because I would have said it's boring to me. I think the current Taifu is a way more interesting. I would say it's a way better design. I just don't like it. It goes genuinely, if it's in the bottom tier here, then it's entirely bad for very personal reasons.
Yeah.
If it goes here, consider it criticism from me. If it goes here, then I'm just being mean or scared. Or possibly both.
Yeah. Taifu feels like a fake Pokemon design that doesn't really get Pokemon designs.
Yeah, very much so. This feels like, it feels like a fake Pokemon design that gets spread around, but it's genuinely hard to believe that anyone actually believes in the fake Pokemon. Anyways, that was my first target of hate. So, Foma and Wimplamp. Wimplamp, I am...
I love those guys, they're so cute.
I am perfectly
Foma's adorable and Wimplamp is pretty okay, but I still like it.
And I'm very sorry. I am putting Wimplop in not a fan.
I'm gonna fucking kill it!
The reason I don't really vibe with FOMO is because FOMO feels like it's a tier below the effort put into a design where I can, like, there's too little effort going on in this design for me to enjoy it, but it doesn't lack enough effort for it to feel funny to me. It feels like someone designed this Tem by doodling it on a balloon, but then didn't themselves want to commit to that being a joke, and then went too hard on trying to make it an actual design, and I just don't like it. So, yeah. Sorry. FOMO is not my guy. Okay, cool. Scale and Scunch. I don't like Scale. Scale.
I was upset with that line because I caught a Scale early on. I was like, this thing is pretty alright. I'm excited to see what it evolves into. And then I saw what it evolves into, and I was like, I am getting rid of you.
Yeah, I don't like Scale because it feels very weirdly disproportionate. There's a giant head that doesn't look balanced on its body. It's way too much forward. It has the weird beard going on. It has the tiniest legs that are kind of like weirdly attached, like you just stuck frog's legs on a beagle. It's a weird design that I don't like. Yeah. Yeah, I have one undisputed favorite above anything else. That I am very open about the fact that I am very biased. I guess this is another point where me and Jool differ. I think actually Scunch is hyped. I'm not excited about it, but I like it a lot more than I like Scale. Enough that I would probably use it if it was mechanically interesting. Oh yeah, that's another good way to think about this tier list. If it's in 8 or above, I would use it if it is mechanically interesting. If it is below that, if it is indifferent or below, I am not using it. So yeah, that's one way to think about this.
I will say, I dislike Scunch for more personal reasons.
Yeah.
Because in a vacuum, it's pretty alright. But because of my experience with the thing,
yeah,
I dislike it more than Scale.
Is Scunch your version of all of us disliking Samurott? Where it deviates from the design in a way you weren't a fan of?
I guess. I mean, sure. I still like Samurott, but
but like my opinion on Samurott is that I dislike Samurott not because I think it's a bad design. I think Samurott's a cool design in a vacuum, but I don't like the fact that it's attached to the line it is because I feel like it's an unsatisfying payoff to the line's progression.
Yeah.
Yeah. We found your Samurott.
I mean, I already had a Samurott in Pokemon, which is Spidops.
Yeah.
I was excited to see what Tarantula would evolve into, and then it evolved into Spidops, and I was like, okay, this feels like there could be another evolution, and there never was.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Yeah.
Similar situation here. If Scunch had another evolution, then and it was cool, then I would like it more. But because that was the final form, and I was excited to see what scale would evolve into, only for it to be a little disappointing. It was like, oh, man, I hate this thing.
Okay. So, coming up are some of my known favorites. I'm gonna just put Mouflank. I love Mouflank. Carla is genuinely probably one of my favorite times with this game. Getting them like doing the breeding to get to the right thing. It's the only time I interacted with the breeding mechanic was to get Carla. It was really cool. And they ended up being pretty valuable as like my reliable thing to just run. And they struggled a little bit when they came into their own, and I found something that worked for them. It felt kind of like... It felt like a good payoff, in a sense. As for Goatee, I'm going to have to do something scandalous. There we go.
Yo!
Genuinely... I do like Wolfie more than I like Goatee, but Goatee is very close. Goatee is, in my opinion, the cutest thing in the entire game. That thing is so adorable.
Yeah, Goatee is fucking adorable.
Yeah.
I had a Goatee and then Mouflonk on my original team, and it was on there for a really long time, but at some point I did end up replacing it for, you're gonna hate this, Arachnite.
Yeah.
Because I thought Arachnite was really cool.
Yeah, when we get to Arachnite, I'm probably going to get more into it, but I'm pretty sure Arachnite is very cool. They're just, I can't really accurately evaluate them.
That's fair. That is completely
Yeah.
I also just, another thing for me is that I don't know why I was like this, but I just really wanted to have all of the types on my team, because there are enough types for you to have one of each. And I was like, I really want to do that, but there's very little dual type neutral Temtems.
Yeah.
Or at least any that interest me. I wasn't gonna have Roller.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna have and I didn't have Balash on that team because I already had Mix.
Yeah.
That I was absolutely not replacing.
Yeah.
For any fucking reason. Mix is super cool.
Rolder, since that was mentioned,
gotta go with the Arachnite.
This thing is, in my opinion, the most neutral, I don't care either way Tem. Whenever they show up, I felt absolutely nothing. They were just there. I genuinely think I would have felt more if it was just like a Rhino normally. Like just a straight up Rhino, because that would have been weird, please. This thing genuinely felt... This felt like so unnoticeable, in a sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Not the biggest fan. Okay. So...
Like for Roller, if I was doing like a neutral model type team, I would consider it. But to be honest, I could probably find 6 other neutral types that I like more than that. So
yeah, and probably Earth types too. It's just the
I'm not too sure about Earth actually, because
there might not be a lot of them. Generally.
I'm also not that interested in the Earth type.
Yeah.
Like, there's not much there that interests me, other than Wolfie, of course. Size much.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to remember any others,
There's the bunny
which
guys.
kind of proves my point.
Like, I think the bunny line was, it has a cute start, like it has a cute pre-evolution and then like an okay evolution. So it's just like I would be more excited about having it. I can see myself using the bunny maybe in like a little cup format. And the mammoth thing is, I think, more interesting as a just I am a big creature with Earth.
That is not Earth type.
Oh, it's not Earth type. Oh, it's melee. Right?
It is melee fire.
Yeah. Never mind. Yeah. Anyway, Roller is very unexciting.
Yeah.
So, getting to starters. I have, for some reason, I tend to dislike starters in whatever I'm doing. I think maybe it's because when creature collector designers make starters, they kind of want to hit certain things, and maybe I just like, they kind of want to hit certain design aesthetics or appeal in certain ways, and maybe those like tropes don't appeal to me, I guess. The game doesn't have the worst starters.
They're made to be marketable.
Yeah. And I feel like the marketable designs that I like tend to be saccharine sweet babies or big plushes. Right. It's saccharine sweet babies, big plushes, or goat. I just like goats. And a lot of the time, I feel like starters want to be at least a little cool. And I tend to not vibe with a lot of designs that want to be cool. Usually that's like, it's not a bad sign, but usually that's like, it's not a plus for me. Looking cool isn't a plus for me. Anyway, Hochik is not a Tem I'm a big fan of.
That's just a baby.
Yeah, it feels like too much that's just a child. However, I think I only got to see it once, but Tental is aight.
This one is a case where I actually like the middle form the most.
Yeah.
For this line.
And Nagaisa is Yeah, middle stage is actually kind of nice. I feel like the little baby is too uninteresting and too kind of like unbalanced. I feel like Nagaisa kind of goes too much in this is just a man direction. Where Tental has like this. Like, I like Tental because I can visualize them. This is a great way to put it. I can visualize them in Smash better than I can visualize Hochik or Nagaisa. If that makes sense. The way the design is balanced feels like I'm kind of like imagining all of these guys moving about, and I feel like I would more enjoy the design of Tental in something like Smash or in any other game than I would in Nagaisa. Yeah. Anyways, Orville and Nidozel. Orville is... It's very boring. But it's not the worst thing, I guess. But nothing about Orville is exciting to me. Like, zero things about it excites me. And then Nidozel does a thing that I also dislike when it happens in Pokemon, where there's an uninteresting design, and then you evolve them, and it's 3 of that uninteresting design. Also, I'm sorry I wasn't paying attention. Who did you want to smash, D? Nagaisa?
I think they were just saying Smash because you brought up Smash.
Oh, Smash. I was like, I thought they went like smash or pass on my guys. Then I was like, oh, that was so weird. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. I am sorry. I am a senile old man who does not remember what they just talked about. Anyway, congratulations. Join would delete if I could. For Nidrasil. If you
That's
haven't...
another one. That's another one I'm going to kill you for, by the way.
Yeah. Feel free to. I think Orville is very uninteresting, and then Nidrasil is, hey, have 3 Orphils, and I don't like it. Not a big fan. Especially because I think Orphils, like little... I don't know what they are, like leaves? They're more interesting, and then Nidrasil kind of pulls back on those. And I just... Whenever I saw it, I just kind of felt I guess. What do you like about them, though?
3 heads.
Okay.
Funny.
Yeah,
But it's my favorite nature type.
Oh, I am so sorry for banishing them to the Shadow Realm.
You better be.
Yeah. So... Banapi is so close to having me care about it, even slightly. But doesn't quite get there.
That's fair. I like Banapi.
One of my issues with Banapi is that whenever it shows up, it's one of the designs where I feel like I visually can't see the most interesting parts of it a lot of the time. I think I would enjoy Banapi if the game had another perspective. Because I think Banapi's tiny baby legs are cute. And I think that's a fun design element. That is just this like floof on tiny baby legs. I don't think I've seen Banapi's baby legs in-game. Because of the isometric perspective. Slightly from above, only when things pan in certain angles. It doesn't really show that off. And the design isn't like crazy interesting. And the one thing that it does, I
like Banapi because its hair too big, it can't see.
Yeah. Banapi is something that I feel like maybe I'd grow into being fine with it if I saw it more.
I started liking it more because I had it on my team for a bit.
Yeah. Like, this thing is very close to being, like, here. But I think I don't really care about it enough to put it up there. Like, if you're up here, I have to care about the design a little, at least. I might move some stuff up or down towards the end, but... Capire, though? I don't care about Capire in the same way I don't care about Luxray. I don't dislike Capire, I don't dislike Luxray. But I kind of really like Shinx. And then I found Luxray kind of just uninteresting. Just like, oh, yeah, I guess that's what I have now, was my reaction when my Shinx evolved. So, yeah. I'm more indifferent about them. Okay, so, some crystal guys. Laponite. Here's one of the things that I'm kind of noticing. A weakness I feel in this game is a similar weakness to why I feel like a lot of 3D Pokemon models sometimes don't work. And it's when I look at the design and the face looks like it's been painted onto a sphere or a flat wall. That's why I don't like FOMO. I don't really like it on Lapite. But I like the rest of their design enough that I'll put them there. You know? Just, I would need some more texturing for them. Like, the face is just too... It feels like a me. It feels like I made that face in the, like, me creator. I don't vibe with Asrock, really. It feels off to me. Probably not enough to put them in fan, maybe. I'll leave it here for now. I might move it up later. But yeah, no, I just don't like it that much. It feels like what the main character in a shitty cartoon would transform into. It, to me, looks like the... kind of like the child form of an alien from Ben 10. Where, like, it's one of the aliens that you never... like, you only see once and they aren't really interesting. That's kind of the vibe specifically Asrock gives me. And I have less of a detailed explanation for Senarath. Senarath hunches weird, and I don't like his posture. Genuinely, this is... yeah, I can be shallow at times. They have zero neck, a jaw that just goes straight into their torso, and hunches over in a weird way. I don't like him that much. Okay, cool. I really like this thing. Raval is cute to me.
Oh, yeah.
Is cute baby. It's kind of like... in my head, when I saw it, when we were going through things, I was like, oh, this is this game's Vulpix. That's what they're going for. And I feel like they genuinely pulled it off. So, yeah. Really like that. And I do actually also white like... oh, they're not something I paid a lot of attention to when we were going through, but honestly, I could have considered running one. But by the time we got to the place where that was a relevant consideration, aka Arbery, last little bit of everything, I was very locked into you liking the Temps I had with me.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If I ever do a second playthrough, I would have this on my team, 100%.
I'd considered it as well, actually, but
yeah, it just shows up so late to be used.
I don't remember why I didn't go with it.
The first place it seems to be catchable is in the grass right before you get to the ranch. So literally, we could have gotten it last stream as our first chance.
Yeah.
So, I would probably, honestly, right now, I would probably pick one of my toxic types off the team and put in a Reval or a Auhi.
Mm-hmm.
If I was to continue playing into post-game and do stuff after that. So, yeah. Really like those guys. On to something I don't like. There is a thing to know about me is I am scared of bugs and stuff. The thing I am most scared of in the entire world are slugs. Slugs and snails are the worst thing for me, by far. So both of these guys are going in here. I hated when they were on screen. Babwa showed up so much I was kind of able to exposure train myself to it a little. But yeah, no, this is just... They go in here. I don't really want to look at Babwa too much. But I think I could say that Babwa is probably an alright design. I don't think Bigu is a good design at all. I think it's kind of trash.
Yeah. I don't care too much about Bigu. Babwa, I mean, I thought about it. I thought about having one on both my original team, and then didn't go with it, and then this team, and then didn't go with it.
Yeah.
Because like there's one thing about Babwa's design that makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it's the like suction cup nipples.
Yeah. I am like mainly my entomophobia is what comes up. I am scared of a lot of things. I don't like sea creatures. Genuinely the worst thing in the world for me are sea slugs. And this thing is a sea slug. I don't like octopuses or squids. No, this thing is just horrible for me. Which is a funny thing is Gastrodon is a Pokemon I quite like.
I really like Gastrodon.
And the only reason I like Gastrodon is because I know when I became scared of snails and slugs. I haven't always been scared of bugs and snails and stuff. And I played Diamond and Pearl before I became scared of snails and slugs. And I liked it so much that I kind of like pre-exposure therapied myself to Gastrodon. But since then, I haven't really been able to interact with any slug creatures. I am fine with Goodra, specifically. I don't like Gloomy or Sliggoo. But the regional form of Goodra I cannot handle, because it now then looks too much like a snail to me. So yeah. Goodra is my snail limit. Default Goodra. If you look more like a snail than Goodra, I am scared of you. Okay. So this is excuse the pun, a weirdly polarizing Temtem for me. Almost said Pokemon. OB1 and OB2. So it's supposed to be 2. They were among the temps that I was considering having on the team for a while, and decided against it. I mainly like OB1 and OB2 because of mechanics. They are very... they work very well with my favorite playstyle of weird stat buffy shenanigans with Source Replicator and Target Replicator. I'm not the biggest fan of their designs. I don't like OB1. I think it's really fucking boring to me. OB2 is aight, though. And it's literally only because I think it's silly that the red one gets a hat. I don't like this design. If it wasn't for the fact that the red one gets to have a hat, it would have probably gone in would delete if I could, for the sin of uninteresting design, but more of them now. So, yeah. This is all you needed, Nagaiza. You just needed a hat, and you would have been safe. Okay.
2B10 is definitely high up there for me as one of my favorites. Just because they're little guys and I love them.
I feel
They're
like
just
I
orbs.
would probably have them very high up in lobbies if I used them. Because this is a Tem that I know if I used it. Probably if I played this game by myself, I would have loved this thing because this thing does exactly what I want a Tem to do. And just the mechanics of it would probably make me love it. Way more than I do now. 0-1. I'm not a fan of that. Doesn't do enough for me. Okay, cool. Let's move on to some I don't think we have strong opinions, differing opinions on. Kaku and Saku. I think Kaku is. Honestly, it's like, I don't care about it. It is like a little cute. I feel like it does the round sphere with face painted on better than some other designs. Saku, though, I don't like this thing. At all. I think it looks stupid. It's not appealing. I feel like it took everything I liked about Kaku and killed it, and it's been replaced with an evil doppelganger that hates me. I don't like Saku. Yeah. I don't know. Do you have any strong Kaku-Saku opinions?
Me?
Yeah, guessing no.
I don't hate Saku. It's very just okay, I guess. It's not that interesting. Kaku, the pre-evolution, is a little more interesting. I would probably, like, at most, if I had the money, I would have a plush of it.
Yeah.
But only after having plushes of my other favorites.
Yeah. Unironically, yeah, I think Kaku is more exciting as merch than it is as a Tem.
Yeah.
Mainly just because, yeah, I think it would be a good plush. Saku, I wouldn't want as a plush. That thing, if that was in my house, I would wake up, see it, and be scared. It has an unsettling smile. That is the smile of someone who just poured arsenic in your cereal. Oh. Here is a not crazy, I guess, but here's a bit of an upset. Valash. I don't know if Jool remembers this, but I did, when we were looking through the Temps, I did have some opinions about Valash. Valash was kind of the point when we were going through. It is partly because it's Tem number 50, which is like a neat round number that tells you a little bit about how far you are. And also because I already really disliked Platamus. And then I saw Valash, and I felt like Valash did a lot of the similar things, and I fucking hated Valash. I was a certified Valash hater. Crawling has literally grown on me so much.
Yeah.
don't know if I would put it in lobbies, but it's definitely a Tem I like more than Tataru or anything else in the IT tier. I might consider moving it up if lobbies becomes more crowded, and I feel like there's more space for it. Anyway, yeah, that is probably...
I added Relash on my team. Not
Yeah,
actually to spite you, but I definitely didn't do it caring about your opinion.
yeah. No, like Village is a design that, like, there's a very big difference. Like, you could have anything and not a fan on your team, and I would be perfectly fine. You could have, if you could have a Saku on your team, I would be worried about you, just, you know, as a person.
I would never have a Saku. I think anything so far we have seen
Yeah.
that you've put, I think the only one I would have on my team is what's his name, Gondor?
Yeah. Didn't you consider this line though?
Maybe Zenith as well.
Yeah.
Because,
you did
like,
bring that up.
I did bring that up.
That you would consider it, yeah.
I would consider it, yeah. But I think there are other Crystal Tems I prefer.
Yeah.
Than that.
Yeah. No, there are very few tabs I would actively want you not to have. I did say Arachnite. I do believe I did say Babwa, but I didn't want you to have a Babwa. But other than that, you could have whatever. If you wanted to have a Typho or a Nidrasil on there, I have probably shit-talked it a lot, but I would be fine with you having it there. So
I would not have a Typho. I've already had my Nitrogen fill, so
yeah, I was very lucky.
You are safe from that.
Okay, here's a very weird take. Sorry, you say what you want to say.
And then also, even if I hadn't used Nitrogen on my first team, I already had Toxic planned out, so I probably wouldn't have this time.
And you knew how many toxic types I liked.
Yeah. Plus, I still tried to go for type variety.
Yeah, I really liked a lot of toxic types. My favorite Tem was Wolfie, so toxic nature probably wasn't the most varied pick. Anyway.
Yeah. I might have just said fuck it and done it anyways. Unless, the other nature types I would have wanted more, and there was.
Yeah.
Well, not really. I mean, I still like Daedra more than Dendra, but I had to go with Dendra because I was fucking upset.
Yeah. Back to my very weird hot take. And this is genuinely something that's, like, there's probably not much logic to it, but I feel like Cowley's racist. Not the design, like a personality race. Something about the way they designed Cowley makes me think that this Tem is a Ben Shapiro fan. I don't know what it is about it, but I don't know. Like, the way I would describe the way I think about Cowley is they are what I would imagine child Ben Shapiro would be if they were in Chicken Little. I don't like this design. But it's weirdly specific. Again, I can be very weird about the reasons I don't like designs. Sometimes the vibe just doesn't hit me right, and I just go very judgmental. So, if you felt bad for what the shit I said about Saku D, yeah. I don't like Towley because it reminds me of Ben Shapiro. I don't know. It's just how life is, I guess. Moving on.
I'm not the biggest fan of Towley because they had Barnshee in like the first area of the game. Well, not like the first area, but like the first
Yeah.
island. And then like 5 islands later,
Yeah.
the final major update. Barnsey has been in the game for a long time now, and they've just introduced a pre-evolution and then a new branch evolution for it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why? Why do that this late?
Speaking of the branching evolution, though, I honestly think Ali's design is right.
I like Alhi.
Yeah.
I like it more than Barnsey, actually.
Yeah, same.
But
would you agree with?
It's just.
Sorry.
Huh?
You go.
It's just, why did they have to introduce
Yeah.
Tali? They could have just had Barnsey and Aohi, just like separate but like similar Tems, you know?
Yeah. I like Aohi partly because the design feels like if Aohi, that you could just take the model and just like retool and texture it so it would fit with the game's aesthetic. If Aohi just showed up in Breath of the Wild, I would be very fine with it.
Yeah.
It feels like that kind of design, and I feel like it works very well. It feels versatile and kind of like a strong general design. I might have wanted to use Ali if I didn't so strongly dislike Tali. I don't like the idea of using Ali because that means I am associated with Temtem and Shapiro. Barnsey, I didn't really vibe with, but it's kind of not something I dislike. It's just there. I kinda hated it mechanically because it fucked with my normal and toxic types. But besides that, design-wise, okay, it's there.
I like Barnsey because it dies to any electric move.
Valid. I don't like Gallus. Any questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I like Gallus?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Gallus
is okay.
I just don't like... It feels like it would be a throwaway enemy and like a Devil May Cry style action fighter. That's kind of like the feel I got from it. And the main design elements that kind of were interesting were praying mantis stuff, which isn't a plus for me. So yeah. I don't have a big problem with it, but I'm not a fan of it. No. Chlora. Chlora is a little guy that I don't really care about. I don't really feel strongly about him. I mainly, whenever I saw it, I thought about the coin pouch enemy from Mario.
I saw Chlora. I remember when I saw Chlora, I was like, oh, it's just a small little guy. When does he evolve? Oh.
Yeah,
that was when
those two are late during the Lost Island. Not just Lost Island, late during the Lost Island. I really like them, but they show up so fucking late that I didn't put them on my team.
Fuck, where did I put the Temtem key? Where did you go? Where did I put it? Oh, anyways, yeah, when I saw Chlora, I was like, oh, it's a little guy. I'm gonna catch it and I'm gonna evolve it. And then I looked up when it evolves, and at the time, it was past the level cap.
Oh.
It's like fuck. So I had to to breed it, to get it to level 1 so that it could evolve.
Mm.
And then I had Mix, and I was like, Mix is great. I love Mix. And then I stopped thinking about Agora entirely.
Yeah.
Like, I caught Agora specifically to evolve it, not to appreciate it. It's okay.
Aglara was just like they're kind of a little guy design, but not interesting enough for me. And like I said, whenever I see them, all I can think of is the coin pouch enemy from Mario.
They're like a small lost child in their onesie pajama.
Yeah. Mix goes in 8 for me. Definitely not my favorites, but pretty alright.
Mix is probably would I say my favorite mental type? I'm not entirely sure, but it's high up there. Same with Crystal as well.
Yeah. Okay. I don't like Ryber. For the exact same reasons I don't like the Amphitheater re-evolution. They are weirdly proportioned. Not just like it's not that they have a big head. They have a kind of big head with a neck that connects to the head in a very weird way, or like the neck connects at like the middle of a just sphere or like oblong, so it doesn't feel like the head's balanced on there. Then it has like weird stretched legs. I don't like the proportions on it, and it's not really interesting in any way, so it goes down there for me. I don't like Ryza. It feels like an awkward middle stage. But, weirdly enough, like, it feels like an awkward middle stage, but the head is from a final evolution. I feel like it doesn't really commit enough to be a middle stage. Like, the head doesn't feel like it fits creature correctly on the model. This is a little weird. Yeah. And then Raikon, I'm fine with it. It exists, and I'm not upset about it.
I don't really have any opinions for that line. It's just there. It's alright.
Okay. Let's go. There is a little guy that does it right. Yuki is so fucking silly, and I do like that. I
really like Pukey.
I don't like it enough that I would like actively consider using it.
I do.
Partly also because Horiant is kind of they're water type roller for me. Horiant is boring to me. I just kind of
I like that the eyes, the part of the body that has the eyes stick out of the head a little bit.
Yeah, it's got like a little bit of hammerhead shark things going on. But nothing about it excites me.
I don't like it as much as Pukey.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Okay, so Scarabat and Scarabolt. Genuinely, Scarabat goes here. I'm not fine with it. I'm not happy with it. It goes there. And I am debating putting Scarabolt there. Because the main reason I was able to be kind of fine with it is that the Luma with the darker colors kind of obscured a little of the design more, and seeing it from behind made it easier to ignore. whenever there was a Scaravault on the enemy side, which wasn't a Luma, especially, I hated it. Genuinely hated it. Especially because it's based on a stag beetle, and stag beetles terrify me. So I'm sorry, but they have to go there.
That's fair.
I did, before we started streaming, I did, unironically, sit with I would do activities, I would play games or read my, like, uni papers, with a picture of Luma Scaravault on the other screen. Not very big, but like small, just so it always was there to try and get used to it. And that was fine. But I didn't like it when I saw it from another perspective.
Yeah. I mean, I told you I would have not used it if it was too upsetting for you.
Yeah, but it wasn't too bad because I would see it from like the other angle, and because the Luma was a better coloring. If you hadn't been using Luma Scaravault, I would have said no. Put it that way.
And the only reason why I wanted to use it was because of I had a Luma of it.
Yeah.
Because like I spent so goddamn long hunting for that, and then I just never got to use it. So I was like, this is my one chance.
Yeah.
And it's with the friend who is terrified of bugs. Fuck.
Yeah. Zoom out a little here. The tier list is getting crowded. Who would believe there were so many tabs? Okay, so...
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Hmm?
This motherfucker used to have magma cannon.
Scaravault?
He used to have magma cannon.
Did they remove
He no longer has magma
They
cannon.
nerfed them? Okay, so, this might upset some people, I guess. Puglet pisses me off. I don't at all like Sonic the Diaper Baby Hedgehog.
No, I want to punt that thing.
Yeah, I want to
specifically...
specifically...
It is a diaper baby.
I would specifically wanted to punt it out of this game.
I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, I would punt it.
Yeah, this thing upsets me in the same way Typhoon does. I look at it and I feel angry. I just go like, what? Who let you in here? Whereas Hedgehine, I just kind of dislike heavily. I don't like the design, and the fact that 50% of the time I saw it gave a pop-up for Gotta Go Fast, which just felt so forced. It felt like listening to someone force the same joke over and over again, and I'm like, yeah, it's Sonic the Hedgehog. It's a hedgehog. Whoa. This thing, I didn't see it a lot, but it wore out, like, it overstayed so quickly. Fuck this thing.
I don't even remember what Gotta Go Fast does.
I have no idea what it does. I just know it pops off.
Changes the Temtems very low, and normal priority techniques to high priority.
Cool.
It's going fast.
Yeah.
It's gotta. Anyways.
Yeah. Very, very much not something I liked. Genuinely, it would have gone in indifferent if it didn't have an ability called Gotta Go Fast that popped up on screen all the time. I am perfectly fine with people making hedgehog designs. I am perfectly fine with people making hedgehog designs that kind of are Sonic inspired. But when you have a hedgehog design in your game that is a Sonic reference, that is such an insecure Sonic reference that it has to remind me that it's a Sonic reference over and over again, I just get annoyed.
I don't know why that pop-up has to come up every time, too.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would come up every single time it uses a move that is not high priority, right? To inform you that something has changed. That's kind of
I
like how the rules seem to work, that whenever something changes, it yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Anyway, moving on from my hatred from hatred from the Sonic characters.
As a
There.
reminder, everyone, Uchi is not a Sonic fan.
Yeah, I am very much not a Sonic fan. I don't
I,
think.
on the other hand, am a Sonic fan, and I partly agree.
Yeah, like this feels like I would be perfectly happy having a character that's a Sonic reference, but I hate reference humor that is insecure and like, did you get it? Did you get the joke? Did you get the joke? It's
Hey, Uchi, gotta go fast. How did you get it?
yeah.
How
The
did you
way
get
I
it
would
right?
describe Hedgine is a Marvel Cinematic Universe Sonic reference.
I understood that reference.
Yeah. It feels like a Marvel tier, like, oh, we need to make sure they like this. Anyway, from my hatred from the diaper baby and its insecure adult counterpart, I actually fucking love this thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if we saw it in game,
I don't think we did either.
but I have seen the model before, and I'm looking at it again. I fucking love Osuchi. It is so
Guy.
cute.
It's little guy.
Yeah, Osuchi is perfect little guy. Holy shit, I
Little
love
guy
this.
energy.
Which is why it is such a shame that I
Yeah.
really fucking hate Osukan and really fucking hate Osukai. God.
It is unfortunate. I'm okay. I already forgot their names.
Osukan and
Osuchi
and Osuchi.
is adorable.
Mhm.
I definitely like it more than Osukan.
Yeah.
Osukan is not that great. I don't think. I don't hate it.
It's one of those
But, like-
Tems that has a very humanoid appearance, and I genuinely think it hurts the design. It feels like a Tem that would look better if it was allowed to be in a pose that wasn't a human person standing up.
Yeah.
It feels like
And
it's
then,
forcing itself to be a guy.
And then Osukai. I like character designs with multiple arms.
This ain't it. This ain't it, Chief.
Yeah.
It's weird. It feels so unbalanced. It feels like they looked at is it Machamp that's the forearms one? Was that
Yeah.
a joke? Yeah, Machamp. It feels like they looked at Machamp, went through what was good about this design, and ignored those bullet points. Because the second set of arms are so low that it makes the entire design very bottom heavy. The shoulders are weirdly like low and narrow, and has like a snow plower for a head. It feels off balance in a very kind of way. I don't like it.
So all of these Tems, obviously, being that they are creatures, they don't really wear clothes.
Yeah.
So they're all technically naked, but they don't really feel that way. Osukai feels like it's naked all the time.
Yes. Osukai is Temtem's version of the cat movie.
Neither of us picked any of the starters.
Yeah.
I think Uchi technically picked Smazzy, just
Yes.
because you have to pick a starter
Yeah.
at the beginning, but just boxed it immediately.
Yeah.
And then because I had already played the game, I had access to every Tem in the game anyway, so I was like,
Yeah.
I don't need to pick a starter. I can pick whatever the hell I want, and I started with
Yeah.
Mushy.
Light spoilers, it doesn't go higher than Tantao. I don't like the starters. If I played through this game on my own, or if I did another playthrough with someone else, or continue with Jewel, I don't think I would ever put any of the starters on my team. I would go back to repeat Tems before I would put a starter. The only design I actually like is Tentom's. And I don't like Nagai's are just so boring to me. I just I don't want it to evolve. Also being positive though, Typod's fucking stupid and I love that. Not high enough that they go into love these, but they are.
Can I just say, it was so surprising to me to see Saipat in the fucking final battle of the game.
Yeah.
That is so ridiculously funny because it shows up in the first area of the game. So it's like, how are you still around?
Yeah.
Why are you this strong?
And it was weirdly good.
Yeah.
Shinobi Tactics was just kind of good, I guess. Good
it's
ability.
So funny.
Yeah.
I am on a similar boat where it's like this thing is so silly and weird, and I do like it.
The way I would describe Saipat is I think it's a Farfetch'd that's actually interesting.
Yes.
Farfetch'd is not at all funny for me because I'm not a native Japanese speaker. Farfetch'd is funny if you like pun humor and grew up in Japanese culture where Farfetch'd is a when pigs learn to fly joke. It's the Japanese version of when pigs learns to fly is when the duck comes home with a leak. And that's the Farfetch'd joke. But that joke doesn't translate to English at all. So they just call it, it's kind of far-fetched to have a duck with a leak. So we'll call it that. Saipat is actually really funny. Because Saipat, to me, feels like it's cosplaying. Saipat is wearing a Halloween costume. And it felt like that at the start. And during the final fight, even though it was kind of scary, and it did beat the fucking shit out of Conrad during our first time, it still felt like Constantinos brought their kid along to work, and the kid really wanted to wear their Halloween costume because, it's November and Halloween was a week ago, and the kid still really wants to wear the costume anywhere, so they wear it to school and to the grocery store and everywhere. I kind of think I think Saipat is the best joke in this game.
Have you ever played Duck Game?
Duck Game?
Yeah.
No.
Do you know what it is?
I don't think so. Maybe I do, but no.
So, what would be the best comparison to it?
Is it because the first thing I thought it was the rubber duck thingy, but I don't know if that's the. I'm just fucking look it up.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that Saipat looks like it's wearing a costume that could be in Duck Game.
It's like a platformer that's got
it's like a PvP
Yeah.
Platform shooter, I guess.
Yeah.
2D platform shooter. I mean, fighter, I guess, but guns and
Yeah.
stuff. I don't know.
Also, don't worry about interrupting we are streamers. We are not going to be upset about people talking in chat.
Yeah.
We love when people talk in chat. Even if we're being nerds about designs. But yeah. I can see that. I can see Saipad being like a character skin and something like that.
Anyways, Saipat for Smash.
They might unironically be my pick for if they were to send a 10 character Smash. Or even better, I feel like Saipat would be really fucking funny to have as an official crossover character in Rivals of Ether. Because Rivals of Ether already has like kind of like there's a lot of that kind of goofiness to it. And I feel like Saipat kind of fits with the goofiness of Rivals of Ether.
Oh, that reminds me. Hold on, I want to check Rivals of Ether's workshop to see if anyone has made any Temtem.
True, that's a good one. Pyko, I think
not a single entry. That's fucked up.
I think this little lizard creature, Pyko, I don't know how to pronounce it, is okay. It's kind of cute.
Pyko is Pyko.
Yeah, it's like one of those times I look at. I'm like, oh, you're kind of cute. You're like a little pet. I don't like Drakash. You go in here. They're like a big, awkward thing that has kind of Xenareth problems for me. I don't like the weird, hunched dude.
I was considering using Drakash at some point, but I don't remember why. I think
it was because we had no fire.
No. I think it was because of one of its abilities, but... Yeah. Oh, maybe it was its stats. Hold on.
It is kind of...
Yeah, just have decent stats. But anyways.
Yeah, the abilities aren't interesting. It burns people if they are knocked out with one of them, and the other one just prevents sleep.
No sleepy.
Yeah.
Just
Anyway,
like me.
I like the design. Moving on. Another starter. Grizzle is... Yeah. They're like... nothing to me. One of my favorite Pokemon of all time is Turtwig. I feel like Crystal is like a Turtwig in every way that doesn't interest me.
Bargain bin Turtwig.
Yeah. Temu
Wish.com Turtwig.
Yeah. With a lot of starters for me, and then it gets worse. I don't like Shrald at all. It's kind of boring for me. I don't like how goofily stretched out its eyes look. It looks like it's got eyes too far apart. And then Tortnite I like even less.
I like Tortnite.
I just... yeah.
Like, if I were to play this game again on, like, a fresh new account, and also not anytime soon because we literally just finished.
Yeah.
I would pick this time as my starter, just because I like it more than fucking I already forgot its name. The mental one.
Yeah. Go check. Oh my god. Into Tentel into I don't know.
The gaze, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also because I already use Smazzy, and Smazzy's my favorite of the starters.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Anyway, Inky is very, very close to being in Lovely's. Not in terms of like I almost like its design that much, but there is very little you would have to change about Inky for it to really quickly get high, like very high up. It just has some things. I feel like it's too busy of a design. There's too much shit going on. It has like it kind of has like OC design syndrome. Where like I feel like it's someone's cool original OC do not steal that they've just kept adding features to. And I kind of go like, yeah, maybe you should have stopped a while ago. But I still kind of like it. But, you know, this is kind of a thing where I feel like if this thing wasn't a 3-stage evolution, this would be the middle stage, and I would probably like the pre-evolution and the final evolution, and just be ahead of the middle evolution, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. Also, I think their ability is kind of boring.
How many more times do I have to go through?
This is 75, so we're like halfway. I can probably speed it up though.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Valid. Just to get through quickly, both Shaolite and Shaoland, I don't fucking care about.
I don't care about Shell.
Thank you
I don't
for
care
eating
about
my
Shellite. Yeah, I don't care about Shellite. Shellite is okay.
List. Cycrox, Helen, is the Tem that I used that I cared the least for design. They go in IT tier. I put them on the team just because I felt like they were mechanically interesting with the Neurotoxin Doom, but then this game is way too fast for Neurotoxin to really matter. So I ended up not using them enough, and
Yeah. Cycrox is like, I am surprised you kept it around this long.
It has like a kind of cool design, but it's kind of frustrating to use, not interesting enough. But yeah.
Would it be the 10 that you would have replaced for Alhi?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I figured.
So, Pocus and Pocus. I don't really care that much.
I like Pocus. I don't care for Hocus.
Yeah. I might honestly put Pocus.
I think Pocus should have been just a single stage, to be honest. Like, Hocus does not need to exist.
Okay. Smolzy. I don't like it.
Smolzy is also one of those would have a plush of if I had plush of all of my other favorites.
I also don't like Sparcy's design at all. And then Golsey I don't like, and I also don't really feel like it follows up on... the progression in this line also just kind of annoys me. Because it's color scheme, then expression, and besides that, they kind of just go off. I don't like them that much.
Here's a funny thing. Sparzy was in the game for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since Alpha.
Yeah.
But you could never catch it. It was only until Early Access 0.7. I believe that was the Sapanko update.
Oh, let's go. We're vibrate radio. We're moving up in the world.
Oh. Yeah, I was only until the Sapanka update that Sparzy was made available, and then Smolzy and Goldsy were introduced as well.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the big moment. Big moment.
Big moment, big moment.
Mushi
This will define the rest of our friendship.
goes into lovelies.
Yeah!
I fucking love Mushi. It is not... It's not getting close to Goatee in terms of cuteness, but it is definitely one of the cutest Temps.
Yes. Yes.
I very much hope that you are fine with me saying that I like Mushuk, but not enough to put it in my loved Temps. Like,
that is fine.
I think it's a very good design.
That is fine. I'll be honest, I like Mushi more than Mushu.
Yeah. Mushi
so
is...
I am okay with this.
Yeah. Like, Mushi is definitely one of those Temps that, if there was Little Cup, they would be a staple for me. I am moving Platypet down. You do not deserve to be up here anymore. Just been looking at it. I've been looking at it for a while, and I'm like, you don't deserve to hang out with these people.
Bro thinks he's part of the club.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Mushuk is not nowhere near as interesting to me or as cute to me, but I feel like it very well follows up on the design, and I'm still very happy about the idea of having a Mushuk on my team. Right?
Yeah.
I think Magmaze is really cute. I'll put like up in 8 tier. This thing is kind of stupid cute. It kind of has like, I think, I don't remember what the fuck, Pukey, right? Magmaze and Pukey feel like they're kind of got the same vibes, and they would be friends, and I like them, so I'm gonna put them next to each other over here.
They're like the perfect like little kid duo that you would see in like the background in like a village.
They feel like Undertale NPCs.
Yeah.
Based on the fan art I've seen of the Undertale characters, they feel like that. I don't like Bastion's design at all, though.
I don't care about Bastion.
This is
I like its typing. Fire water is a cool typing. I don't care for it.
Umushi, uninteresting.
I like Umushi.
Okama,
not like a lot, but I like Umushi. I like it. And
I never felt anything.
I also liked it a lot
when it showed up anywhere.
I like these Tems. If I didn't already have White Horse, I would have had Ukama.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Also, good luck not getting car 6, so... I don't know if I've seen Galvanid properly. Looking at its model, I don't like it. That's a funky ass posture, kid. What the fuck?
Hate people for their posture.
Galvanid looks like Mom, I threw up, but they're angry about it.
It looks like Mom said that it's their turn on the Xbox.
Yeah.
But their sibling is not sharing.
Yeah. Pregnant is okay. I don't care.
I'm indifferent towards Raglet.
Yeah. So, monkey time.
Monkey.
Smazzy is... I don't really care. It's not bad. Just does nothing for me. It's like a guy. I'm happy they're in the game. Fuck this thing. I don't know if I've looked at it. Baboon is here the exact same reason Platymus is here. I hate these kinds of arms. I hate its hunched forward position.
Okay, that's fucked up. It's a monkey.
Yeah. I can dislike it. And Sizemon, I don't care. Yes, sir.
Well, for me, This is my favorite starter.
Mm-hmm.
Smazzy is probably my favorite of the line. Then Seismuch, then Baboon. Baboon I would honestly rate like fairly low in terms of my favorite Tems. Seismuch probably like higher than mid, but not like top tier, and then Smazzy would be in top tier.
Yeah. No, I put Cesar in an uninteresting, just eh.
Fair.
Even when it was a pivotal moment of the last battle on a giant scale, I looked at it and went, eh. Goro.
Yeah, that was a little anticlimactic, to be honest.
I don't like its face.
That's mean.
Its face looks like in cartoons when a character shakes their head back and forth and goes like... It looks like a smear frame.
And why is that a bad thing?
Because I don't like it. Because I'm a judgmental bitch. Didn't you already know that? We've talked about this. Okay.
This is also important, by the way.
Yeah.
These next two Tems will also define
I quite like
friendship
MIDI.
going on.
MIDI is kind of cute. I like it.
Yep. That's how I'd rank MIDI as well.
Sanbi is... I am torn on whether or not I don't care. Seeing it animated was better. Looking at the model, it's disgusting. But seeing it animated wasn't as bad. I still think I'm putting it here, though. Like, just in the tier. Don't care about the order.
I would delete this.
I wouldn't delete it.
If you had put it higher than not a fan, I mean, I probably wouldn't do anything about it. But imagine, like, in The Sims, where when characters are interacting, you can see, like, friendship up or friendship down. It will be like 1 point of friendship down.
Yeah.
Because this thing is gross. Like, I would remember this.
Yeah.
This thing, I despise it. I despise it so much. MIDI is so adorable and it turns into that.
Yeah, I don't like the design, but I will say it is, like, one of the reasons I put Taifu here is that I dislike the design. And to me, it doesn't feel like it does anything interesting enough to the point where I feel like it's fine to have in the game. I feel like Sanbi, at least it does, like, it's unique enough that I feel like, okay, there's some aesthetic value in the fact that this thing looks like nothing else. Partly because it's a horrifying monstrosity. But, you know. Anyways, Momo is aight.
Momo is just a dog.
I think I would not have liked Momo. Like, Momo would have gone in a different tier, or even in not a fan tier, because of it's just a dog. If it wasn't for the fact that I grew up exactly when I grew up. Because I remember getting access to the internet. I started getting access to the internet when I was about 12, 11, like late 11, early after turning 12 was when I kind of started being allowed to be on the internet. And one of the most commonly spread around memes around that time was Moon Moon, if you remember that.
Yeah,
and
I remember Moon Moon.
And Momo is Moon Moon. Like, clearly, it's a Moon Moon reference. And
I'm pretty sure that was intentional.
yeah, it's a very derpy looking wolf that is instead of called Moon Moon, it's called Momo. And yeah, it's apparently in the trivia section, it does not mention Moon Moon at all, but whoever designed this thing definitely liked Moon Moon memes. And that's the only reason I find it interesting, because in my heart, a derpy wolf will always be funny, because I've been on the internet for a little while. Anyway, time for me to get
Here's something interesting.
Yeah.
So I was looking in its trivia section on the wiki to see if if it would mention anything about Moon Moon. It doesn't. Instead, it is one of the designs submitted by a backer.
Oh, well.
And it is named after their dog.
Well, your dog is Moon Moon now. Congratulations, random backer. Cootie, I think is kind of cute.
Wait, no, sorry. It's not named after the backer's dog. The backer is like, you have free reign over the name of this Temtem, and then one of the devs named it after their dog.
Anyways, I think Cootie is kind of cute, and I don't like Kara.
Curie's okay. I like Curie.
It's like a cute little guy.
Not like
nothing
that
special,
much.
but like they're cute enough that I enjoy them. You know?
Yeah. And then Karen is
Karen, I don't like at all.
I know it's Karen.
It's
but
Karen
like,
to me.
It's Karen.
Okay, Spriol.
This one's also important, by the way.
Spriol. Let me just that was the wrong direction. Spriol, love Spriol.
Yes.
Spriol. Also, I'm definitely going to move Banapi up here. I've been looking at it. These two are moving closer together. That's Spriol, in my opinion, does what Banapi is trying to do a little better.
I love Spriol. Spriol is so adorable.
And Deendra, I don't really care.
Deendra is like the perfect middle stage here.
Yeah, and I actually think
it's like a good.
Pretty okay. Huh? I think Cernif is okay.
I like Cernif. Its design. I like Cernif more for my relationship with the Tem than with the actual design. The design is good.
Yeah.
But not like
it's one of those
that great
final
for me.
Stages that feels like it's a stronger design based on its middle stage. Like Deendra does being a middle stage evolution well, but isn't interesting. And Cernif just kind of is. Honestly, Cernif might be like a good thing to measure Temtem designs against. It's like a good standard.
The only reason why I had a Cernif for this playthrough was specifically because, and I've told you this, there was a side quest. I don't remember when you get the side quest, but there's a side quest that asks for a Cernif, and at the time, getting a Cernif was a little difficult because of the level cap. So I used the free Deendra that you're given as like part of the main story. Bred it into Spriol, and then I just kept it with me as I just played through the rest of the game, and it was just in my party. Underleveled as hell, but it was around. And it eventually would catch up because experience growth changes depending on levels and stuff. Yeah. So it eventually caught up with the rest of the party, and then evolved into a Serenity, I was like, yes, my little guy, my baby, they're
Yeah.
an adult now. Let's go finish that side quest. And then it fucking took my Serenity without telling me.
Yeah.
There was no prompt or anything that was like,
Hmm.
this is going to delete your Tem forever. No, it was just like, show me the Tem. Okay, here it is. Yoink.
Hmm. Anyways,
No.
to some Temps I really fucking like. Toxalol and Noxalol. I love these things. Probably one, like, if I could do anything different about this run, it would have been picking Toxalol over or picking Noxalol over Calibus. Because over time, I ended up.
At some point, you barely use that thing.
I used
At some point.
I used Georgina a lot early, like right after getting it, mainly because they were just tanky, and during that stage, that was before I had any Temps that really did any damage. Because as it turned out, I just kept grabbing tanks and like support because I'm me. But yeah.
I was the big damage dealer.
Yeah, which you also were at the end, where we beat the final boss with just healing you the entire match. You just punch. You literally just walked into the Constantinos fight and punched him to death.
Yeah. I mean, it's what he deserved.
Yeah. Okay, Blues, I don't like.
I don't care for Blues.
Blues is just uninterestingly boring, and I think Guldur is also just no, I don't like.
I like Guldur a little bit more than Blues, but not by much. And it's mainly just the fact that this is what I kind of wish Muck was.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just because it's both gross and also a little silly.
Yeah.
Muck is just gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of it, really.
Anyways, I genuinely, whenever I would see the Sephiroth, like the Valorant line or the Grandpa line, my brain didn't distinguish.
That's weird.
They just, like, I definitely knew they were different Tams, but in my head, they just occupied the exact same space of bird in an uninteresting way.
Part of me at some point wants to do a monotoxic run. And if I ever do that, Valorant's going on that team.
Yeah. Okay, so Grumble.
Bad.
Grumble is the ugliest thing in this entire game.
Yes.
And, like, part of me wants to throw it into the Shadow Realm, but part of me kind of respects the fact that someone designed this.
Oh yeah, I would not delete it. I would definitely keep it around.
This thing, design-wise, like, if I were to talk purely just aesthetics, I would delete it, because looking at it makes me feel gross. Like, Grumble is what, like, looking at Grumble feels to me like when I was with friends who had dogs, they would walk their dog, and I would look at the dog shit on the ground. And my brain would just go, that is poop. Gross. And that's all my brain would do when I saw them. But the fact that someone sat down, designed it, put it into the game, and it went through approval, I respect it. It is still really gross. Grumper is not as bad, but also, to me, less interesting.
Yeah.
So, and yeah.
If you want to talk about posture.
Yeah. Shit posture. but like, the posture there doesn't upset me. Usually when posture upsets me, it's because it feels like the Tem is hunched over in a forward falling position. So, like, Senereth and whatever the fuck the Flame Lizard's name is again, both of them have the posture of a teacher trying to sneakily read over your shoulder. I just don't like that. Grumper has the posture of appropriately racist grandpa who can barely keep themselves up anymore. Because Grumper is like Towley has Ben Shapiro racism. Grumper, I feel like if Grumper could talk and I would have a conversation with him, it would start with a comment about the blacks. That's the personality of Grumper to me. That thing's horrible. Morally.
Yeah. I can see Grumper as being racist.
Yeah. Okay, so Genki. I think Genki is right.
I think Genki's cute.
It's like a cute little bug design that is comfortably not buggy enough that I am perfectly fine with it. And also...
Which is good because you've kept it around.
Yeah, I caught a Genki literally just because I went, Tataru is not doing jack shit. I'm tired of pushing this one button over and over again. I'm just gonna catch another leveled Tem because Tataru was the only Tem I was gonna catch until we got to Toxic Island. And I was like, I'm just gonna catch something else so I have something leveled so I can stop with the monotony. I caught a Genki, planned on switching it out immediately, and then it was really convenient to have a wind Tem and an electric Tem. And they just kind of stuck around, and I still don't think this is even vaguely one of my favorite designs. I'm fine with it. But,
yeah, I told you having a wind Tem was going to be really good.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, I didn't use their wind stuff a lot. It was mainly the electric stuff. Because I was low-key. If
you weren't going to have a wind type, I probably would have.
Yeah. I was low-key kind of right in the fact that dealing with toxic types was kind of fine by just hitting them neutrally most of the time. Because none of the toxic types were like that big of an immediate threat besides whatever the Helen's line is called. Because you need to burst it down before it hits someone. Yeah. I keep thinking Cyclosaur in my head.
Cyclosaur.
Okay. Wet Horse.
Wet Horse.
One-shot. One-shotted MVP. In the Hall of Fame together with Voodoo. I don't dislike it. I don't like it. It's whatever to me.
Yeah. Wet Horse was one of those where I originally was going to replace it at some point, but it kind of just stuck around.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I got it at this point. It's been around so long.
I think genuinely at some point I asked if you wanted to switch them out because they were like dying, and you just said like, no, fuck it, I'm gonna stick with this Wet Horse.
Yeah, because at that point I was attached to it.
Yeah. If
you had asked me earlier, in the playthrough, I would have considered it.
Because you started using it like halfway through the island before Wet Horse kept dying instantly. So you didn't use it that long before it got into everything here wants me dead. So...
Yeah, but like all of my shit was dying, so like...
Yeah.
Well, all of my shit except for boxing.
Anyways...
Because boxing is a beast.
Yeah. Yowlar... it's here. Not really.
I keep forgetting this Tem is in the game.
Yeah.
It's not really that common. The one area where it's most prominent we didn't even go to.
Yeah. So Droply and Gyaro. I might have seen a Gyaro once or twice. I don't think I've ever seen a Droply.
Yeah, by the time that Droply starts showing up, it's just mostly Yaru
Yeah, that's where I'd put them. I don't care about either of these
or
guys.
Gario. So I like Gario.
They're like smiley little lizard guys, but they don't do anything special for me.
Yeah, I like them. This is another Earth type that I would use over Older.
Yeah, that's valid. I don't care about Brockgoblin. I don't care about Brock.
I like Brock. I like Brockgoblin specifically. The rest of the line, not as much.
I think I honestly like Brock a little more. Mainly, again, because I can barely see it in a Zelda game. This feels like in like whatever in the timeline happens after Tears of the Kingdom, like a game that happens 100 or 1,000 years after Tears of the Kingdom, and like some of the Korok seeds have evolved to be like little mischief gremlins. The Brockorks feel like Koroks who wanna fuck about. And Broccolem,
by the way, you've been mortalized.
Oh my god. I've been mortalized. I talked shit about broccoli and now I'm mortal.
Yeah.
Eat your veggies, kids. It's gonna be a 1-2 punch of Rowley now agreeing with me. I don't like Shireen's design. I know you like it. I don't like it.
Shireen, I was considering over Valash.
Yeah.
You
probably would have used it if I didn't use Georgina. I have a feeling.
Yeah, probably. Maybe. Well,
Because I was already very committed to using neutral types. And if we had no water type, maybe you would have used Shireen. Who knows?
Well, wait. You said you were committed to using neutral types?
Yeah. I said,
Valash is neutral type, is the thing.
Yeah, that's why I said,
So,
I was committed to using neutral types. And you did consider, picking things that didn't double up on types. So I feel like if I didn't have Georgina, so the team had no water type, maybe it would be more likely for you to pick Shireen over Balash. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Possible, but I think I do still like Balash a little bit more than Shireen.
Yeah.
Crystal Mono type team, that would have them both, but...
Yeah. I just don't vibe with it. It's not a bad... It probably deserves to go in indifferent. I just don't... It's one of those temps that I look at and I just can't imagine myself ever using it. Exact same for Nestla. I don't really enjoy it, but I guess I'm not against it.
Nestla is so weird for me because I caught it so early on in my first playthrough with the idea of replacing it.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I just never did, and I still do not know why. Because I do like this Tem, but not a significant amount. So it's so weird that I kept it on that team, and I beat the game with it.
Yeah. Okay. Valiar, I like. I think Valiar is... I'm gonna have to zoom out even more. Let's go. Everything's so small. Valiar, I quite like Valiar. I probably would consider using it at some point. Got a neat, pretty design. It's got a cool ability. Mental. I like it.
Meh.
Yeah, valid. Okay,
Puppy.
Popeyes. I don't really care. It's not bad, but it doesn't really do anything for me.
Puppy. He's a puppy. He's got a stick in his mouth, and then it evolves, and then it becomes one with the stick.
Yeah, I'll put it in indifferent. I don't... At first, I didn't really like Lol's design at all. But I came a little more around to it. I generally have an aversion to... it's a weird thing. I don't like it when chairs or couches or plushes or pillows have things coming out of them. It's like a weird autism thing. So yeah, I'm too autistic for Lol.
I'm not autistic enough, apparently.
Yeah. Okay. Here is the shame thing. You would definitely go in indifferent. Kalasu is not interesting to me.
That's fair.
And
I am pretty okay with Kalazu.
yeah, and Calibus, I liked what I could do with Georgina. I liked having them around for the time I did, but I do actively regret not switching them out for something.
Yeah.
But by the time I realized I'd want something else, I didn't really feel like bothering getting anything else, and nothing else had like immediately caught my attention. Mainly because the things I was interested in was, I would have perfectly been happy with a Mushuk, but I didn't want the same thing as you. I would have been perfectly happy with a Cerny, but I didn't want the same thing as you. I didn't want to add another poison toxic type, and I hadn't gotten to little foxes. So yeah.
Haha. I took some of your favorites.
Yeah. I probably would have switched it for some other stuff. But yeah. Adoraboros is also a weird case because I caught one literally just because I was like, yeah, might as well. I think I caught it because I said I'm already catching a lot of toxics.
I think I recommended you catch it.
Yeah.
You catch it as well.
I
was like, you should catch this. This build about toxics.
Yeah.
I don't think I brought up that, but like I did recommend that you catch it.
Yeah. It ended up being alright. It didn't really do much of anything unless Rudol was on the field.
Yeah, fucking the
Rudol
synergy
staying
and synergy
on
master.
the field was difficult. So the synergy master thing was really good. Was really cool. The design didn't excite me that much. I would have. The funny thing is, I probably would have wanted Noxolol on my team and then just yeeted every other toxic type and picked some other stuff over the toxic types I ended up with. So, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even use any of them for the final battle either.
Yeah, they weren't really great into it either because besides Adoraboros, none of them could do anything quickly. And Adoraboros could only do anything if you wanted to run a Loal in there, and I don't think that would have been a good idea.
I'd considered it if the team that we went in the second time didn't work.
Yeah.
But it worked.
Eh.
Because punch good.
And all of the different wild forms, none of them really justified themselves to me as interesting. Besides, what the fuck is it called? Yeah, the melee one, Tutsu.
Tutsu.
Weirdly enough, this was the one that I felt more like, out of any one of them, if I would put any of them higher, I would put this one higher, and I'm gonna put it next to Smashy, because I think they're kind of similar in my head, with like the kind of
Tutsu's
vague
like...
melee afro vibe.
Tutsu is like Smazzy's distant uncle.
Yeah. I quite like Kinu's design.
Kinu, I thought about this earlier. Kinu is like the perfect early game boss slash mid game mini boss that turns into like a late game enemy.
Yeah. So I also have a feeling that if I had picked up a Kinu, I would have liked using it. Because
I think
both
so.
Protector and Benefactor are very me abilities. It has a very good, like, supportive move pool. But I was never gonna pick this thing over my
Over
boy.
Volfi. Yeah. I had almost gone with it, but I had to go with Cerny.
Yeah. Volvir is a great little guy.
Yeah.
I love them, but they're pretty
Volvir,
good.
Volvir reminds me a little bit of Cubone,
Yeah.
just without the depressing backstory.
Volor, I don't like. It doesn't feel like it evolved. It feels like someone took Volvir and grabbed its heads and legs and just pulled. I don't like it. And then I also don't like Volcrane at all. These two I just don't like.
I think it peaks with Volvir.
I never found Pig Epic interesting or funny or anything. It's just around.
Yeah, and you're evil for that.
Yeah.
No, I can see why you'd find this to be like basic and boring.
Yeah.
Again, this is another like perfect plush Tem.
Yeah.
But like I would actually get a plush of this before a lot of others.
Yeah. Maybe
Maybe even as my first plush, to be honest.
I kind of enjoyed it as the meme. But then it became painfully clear that even if it was a meme, and so we're kind of close to getting done, I'm happy. Especially because a lot of this, the remaining stuff, is Koish. Pig Epic was a funny little meme guy, but was so painfully weak that I was kind of like, haha. And then we laughed about Pig Epic, we laughed about Pig Epic, and then there was like a point where I felt like both of us kind of went like, ah, god, I guess we have to send him Pig Epic here. Well, it's not gonna do anything, but
I ran into the same problem with Pig Epic as you did with Tachiru.
Mm-hmm.
Where it was like good early game, and it was valuable. It was good because it was Wind is a good type.
Yeah.
And it thrived on Tukma, the Toxic Island. Like that's where it got its most use, I think. But then after that, I had to get rid of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was too attached to it, I guess, to get rid of it. But by the time I got to Seppuku and everything was electric type, I was like, I have to. I gotta.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is not performing well anymore. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, little buddy. I'm sorry, Red
And
Bull,
it's not
but
gonna get better from here anyways.
yeah, it's not. So
Uh, anyways, So, Acronox, the only reason Acronox goes into not a fan is because you didn't use it and didn't want to use it. It was not something you mentioned as a Tem you wanted to use.
I didn't bring it up because I didn't think you would like it, but
this is the
and I also
opposite,
wasn't as
of Bugslot. I am kind of okay with it being on the other side of the field. If you had it on your team and I had to see it from behind, I would have not been fine.
Yeah.
And that's the main reason. That's the main reason Bugslot goes into would delete, because I can't control whether or not the enemies have it, but I can control whether or not I have an Acronox.
That's right.
Yeah.
I like Acronox, but the main reason why I didn't bring it up was because I already was planning on having a toxic type.
Yeah.
In Mashuk, so
yeah.
it's like,
Anyways, fuck Koish.
Koish is ugly.
Koish is really
Moving on.
Yeah.
We've already ranked both.
Koish is ugly and uninteresting. This is in the Tem order where we would get Wolfie. I just did them first. They are my favorite design. Probably ended up being my favorite Tem to use in the very end. They were kind of difficult to use when I got them because it took a little bit for them to get the stuff they needed. But fuck, were they fun to use when I finally got there. And yeah, I like them a lot.
I am so happy that we finished the final battle with the two favorites.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Chubby, I don't like. It is buggy enough that I'm a little uncomfortable with it, and it's different enough from a bug that I am not actively troubled by it.
I like Chubby because it's a chubby bee, and it's cute. I think it's cute.
I actually have a problem with. I don't handle it well. I think in order of Tems in the game that I struggled the most with, it would be Babwa, Arachnite, and then Westbeam.
Yeah.
So.
I had a feeling you would struggle with that one.
Yeah. Luckily, it didn't show up much at all.
It didn't, and I also chose not to use it as well.
Thank you.
Just because as I was already troubling you with Scarabout, and I was like, I don't want to do that again.
Also, like
I'm going with the Lash.
The fact that that Bugslot was already evolved, I would not have been fine with Scarabat. Scarabolt was fine from behind.
Oh no, it did start off as a Scarabat.
Yeah, not.
It just didn't take long for it to evolve.
Evolved more or less immediately. So like,
I think we were on the second island when it evolved.
Yeah.
Maybe even like late first. I don't know.
Because you didn't use it during the. No, I don't know if you used it during the first island because I think it was too high level for the first island.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the reasons you used Pig Epic. Was because it was one of the few things you had that wasn't too high level, and you didn't feel like going and catching a bunch of stuff just to toss away.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think Mole is good. It can go into it. Not the cutest, it's not the most interesting, but it's cute.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Moments is just I don't know if I saw this thing in game, but looking at the model, not interesting.
I'm very about it too. Right.
Hazrat is, in my opinion, the second. It's the second funniest Tem. Nowhere near Psypath level of like good.
No.
But
No.
Hazrat has like it's a rat with rat energy, which, you know, that's valuable.
Yeah. It is also going on my monotoxic team.
Yeah.
It's a fucking rat, bro.
I think mental is like kind of similar to whatever this thing was called, the digital nature. It's cute enough that I like it.
Same.
And from there,
It's adorable.
and from there, I don't like this Taurus regional form.
I actually like Minox, not as much as Minimal.
Yeah.
And then Minotaur. Yeah, I'm okay with it. I like its typing.
I dislike Malala. I just don't.
I don't care for it. It's yeah, I don't care
There
for
are
this.
certain levels of like, this is just a guy.
This is just a guy.
This is just a guy. And it happens to be just a guy in a somewhat unfortunately diaper-looking belt from certain angles. It's just kind of awkward dealing with them. They're Disney. Thanks.
I like ranks, but not like that much, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not indifferent, but
Yeah.
you know. I don't
Vanks
it
is just
that
like
much.
not that interesting. I do actually kind of like both Venmet
I really
and
like both of
Vental.
its evolutions.
They are. I think I did bring up both Venmet and Vental as possible things I was considering using. I probably would put Vental pretty like. It's. I'm not sure, but I am honestly willing to maybe give it lovies.
If it went for the fact that I already had a melee tab that I wanted to use, and also that this shows up so late in the game,
Yeah.
I would have considered that I use one of them and you use the other.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Also, I do just... on a thematic sense, I love neutral types. Even if I ended up not
like
liking
neutral types
as
too, yeah.
many neutral types in this game, some of them are just kind of eh. I love normal types in Pokemon. I love neutral types because I love it conceptually.
Yeah, I really like the neutral type as well.
I don't care about Shimura.
Funnily enough, my favorite neutral type is Valash.
Yeah.
Um,
Chimerian,
but
I don't care.
the Venx line and Arachnite are pretty high up there as well.
Yeah. Arachnite goes in would delete if I could, for aforementioned reasons.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna skip over its wiki page. Also, I just
Chimerian, I don't care too much about.
I just put it in there
Arachnite,
because
I
it would
like a
show
lot.
up and I'd be like, oh, that is in the game. Tycho is kind of neat. I like it. Would probably use it at some point. Partly because I don't think I'm the biggest fan of a lot of digital types. So I probably would end up using it here and there just for the sake of digital types.
Same.
I think it's the only digital type that has its final form in the tier I would use. Because I think Monko's design is kind of neat. It's the only design in the game where I look at it and I go, this is cool in a good way. This is
Kitty
cool and I
cat.
like it for being cool. You know?
Kitty.
Oh, let's go. I can just speed through with 2 Tems that I don't think I've seen, but that I don't like. And Thara and
You were
Anavan.
you were given an Anna here and then immediately boxed it, and
Yeah.
I remember telling you that it's not that great, but its evolution is better, like stat wise,
Yeah.
but its design is not that amazing.
Yeah. I don't like it that much. And I also have I have an aversion to any design that has a lot of very like bright luminous stuff in their design because I have very sensitive eyes and I get headaches from bright things.
Yeah.
So I literally, if I had used Anathan, I would have struggled. It's part of the reason why, honestly, like a lot of the like a decent amount of the fire Thames had stuff like that going. I just some of them hurt a little. So Tyrannic, it's just very uninteresting to me.
It's
Right.
a dinosaur.
Yeah, it's a dinosaur. Ooh,
It's probably my least favorite of the legendaries, or what are they called? Mythicals.
yeah.
Probably my least favorite of the mythicals.
Polygon, I don't care about.
I like Bolgun.
Yeah.
It may actually be my second favorite of the mythicals. I need to look at Gallios again.
And then, yeah, I also tend to not be the biggest fan of legendaries as well. Gallios, I'm kind of indifferent looking at it. I would say, yeah.
Yeah, Gallios is probably my favorite of the mythicals, and then Polygon, and then Tyrannic.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all the Thames.
I'm gonna quickly look through and see if there's anything that I would yeet somewhere else.
Yeah.
And feel free to shout your biggest disagrees.
I've already told you them.
Honestly, I'll put you down here, mainly because of the bright light issue.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna bother ordering within the tiers, because fuck that. Already spent way too long on this. But this is the final tier list. All the way from creatures I am irrationally angry with, aka these 3 guys over here, and then creatures that I have very strong phobias that make it difficult for me to play the game with. If I could delete a single Tem from the game, it would probably be Arachnite, because it showed up in the overworld as a design element, and fuck that. But yeah. Favorite Tem?
Yeah, I can't say that I agree with the decision of having it just out there.
Yeah. And it wasn't really... Like, it didn't show up in the area, I think. It was just on a wall for some reason. So yeah.
Spiders do be doing that. They do be on walls.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Spider-Man?
Yeah.
That's the thing he does. He climbs on walls because he's a spider and a man.
Anyway, looking at this...
Actually, funnily enough, he's not even a man. He's like a teenager.
Looking at this, I realized that if I just grabbed shit from my top favorites, I would have a pretty good team.
Yeah, I mean, you already had Volphy and Mouflon on the team we just played.
I would have had Sernif.
I had Sernif and Mushug.
Yeah. And then what I would have added would probably been Aohi and Nuxlol, something like that.
Yeah.
Cool. We are free. God, this stream took so much longer than I thought.
Yeah. I was a bit concerned when you brought up the tier list thing because, like, I noticed that we were at 3 hours and we haven't even seen the final boss yet. I was like, oh god, the tier list is gonna take like we are basically not even halfway done with this stream because there's still the tier list afterwards.
Yeah. I was like, we could probably maybe slam through the tier list, but I was like, nah. Then we got a little into it. Like, no, we have too many opinions.
Yeah, and there's a lot more Temtems than you probably thought there were, huh?
I mean, I knew how many Temtems there were, but I maybe hadn't considered the fact that that number was bigger in reality, you know? It's one of those times where, like, I know how many Temtems there are, and then I have to sit through all of the Temtems, and I'm like, that felt a lot longer than I thought it would feel.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna just fucking go to my ending screen and find someone to raid. I'm tired. Jules tired. I am gonna need to get some... Yeah, true. I did not consider that we are both colossal yappers. But yeah, I did not consider the fact that the stream would take this long, and unlike Jewel, I did not have Taco Bell during stream, so I'm gonna raid and then fucking go have some food and then pass out.